Hello student. We know that the cellular respiration occurs amongst the living organisms by two methods. First, aerobic respiration and second one, anaerobic respiration. After learning about aerobic respiration, let us learn about anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, there is a need of oxygen for energy production. But in case of anaerobic respiration, there is no need of oxygen for energy production. Let's start energy production in microorganism through anaerobic respiration. Some living organisms survive without oxygen, means they cannot live in presence of oxygen. For example, anaerobic bacteria. See in this slide there are two diagrams of anaerobic bacteria, E. coli and Clostridium. Such a microorganism follows anaerobic respiration for energy production. Glycolysis and fermentation are the two steps of anaerobic respiration. Let's see glycolysis. We can see that during process of glycolysis, glucose molecules is incompletely oxidized and pyruvic acid is produced with less amount of energy. Let's see the second step in anaerobic respiration, that is fermentation. We see in the glycolysis process there is a production of pyruvic acid. Then this pyruvic acid converted into other products like organic acids or alcohols with the help of some enzymes, and this process is called as fermentation. Let's see example of fermentation. You know that the yeast is a type of fungus. The yeast is used in the process of fermentation of grapes. Here yeast carries out fermentation in pyruvic acid and convert into alcohols. Similarly, various microbes after fermentation converts pyruvic acid into different products such as vinegar, vitamins. This vinegar is used in many foodstuffs. Our blood have RBCs, means erythrocytes. These RBCs does not have mitochondria. Therefore, these RBCs are entirely depends upon anaerobic respiration for energy production, and after that lactic acid is produced by fermentation. In 9th standard, we learn about the lactobacilli, the bacteria which are present in the milk. After fermentation, it turns pyruvic acid into lactic acid. In some higher plants, animals and aerobic microorganism sometimes also performs anaerobic respiration instead of aerobic respiration. You know that the higher plants, animals and aerobic microorganism uses oxygen for their energy production. Means every time they use the process of aerobic respiration. But in some situation when there is a depletion in oxygen level in the surroundings, they also performs the anaerobic respiration instead of aerobic respiration. Let's learn the other examples of this anaerobic respiration. First, that is germination of seeds. Germinating seeds also performs anaerobic respiration if the soil is submerged under the water. Here, in some situations like heavy rainfall, due to the deposition of water, the soil is submerged under the water. And so, the seeds cannot get oxygen from air. At that time, the germinating seeds performs anaerobic respiration. Next example, in some situation like physical exercise, we feel tired. Why we feel tired? See, because of our muscle cells performs anaerobic respiration. when oxygen is temporarily depleted while performing physical exercise. Due to this, less amount of energy is produced in our body and thus form lactic acid accumulates in our muscles, and due to which we feel tired. When oxygen level returns to normal, muscle cells again perform aerobic respiration. Means this process is done for some times when there is a less amount of oxygen. Observe this flowchart. Anaerobic respiration in living organisms and cell. Here we see in the middle glucose. After glycolysis it converted into pyruvic acid. Then after fermentation it forms different products like vinegar, vitamins, etc. And for that purpose there is a use of various microbes. In some cases, pyruvic acid after fermentation converts into alcohol with the help of microbes like yeast. And here the also pyruvic acid after fermentation it converted into lactic acid, and this lactic acid is accumulated into erythrocytes means RBCs and also the muscle cells. This flowchart is very important for examination for activity-based questions. In this way, we learn the anaerobic respiration in living organisms. If we compare aerobic respiration with anaerobic respiration, then we see that in anaerobic respiration there is an incomplete oxidation of glucose. So, we can conclude in aerobic respiration, which involves complete oxidation of glucose, and mitochondria is the cell organelle necessary for complete oxidation of glucose. Thank you.